we are now live on our final Google Hangout, guys. So I'm just going to jump in and start off with our first two websites. Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay. So my first website that I'm going to look at is through Discovery Education, and it's called Web 2.0 Tools. And I like this website because it gives like so many different things for you, and it's free resources for teachers, parents, students, and you can use it for basically everything. But I looked at these tools on this page here, and they give the option. There's a video over here, but it's really long, so I'm not going to play it. But there's presentation tools, video tools, mobile tools, community tools, and related links. So if you click on the presentation tools, it basically is trying to get you to go beyond just doing bulleted slides on a PowerPoint, and it gives you so many different options. So there's so instead of just being like, oh, I finally have PowerPoint down, these are other things that you can use. So there's SlideShare. So it basically uses a tool to upload your PowerPoint, and you can share them. And then this one, we've done Prezi, so we know how that works. And then PixViewer. So this will basically, you can add some unexpected stuff to it. So like if I click on it, it'll take you to the other website to be able to work on whatever you need to do. Some of the other tools are video tools. So it says lights, camera, interaction. So this first one allows you to turn your photos and videos into wow, as they say, and you can create unique videos with it. And this one allows you to bring your lesson plans to life. And this one allows you to put polls and quizzes into your videos, which I really thought was cool. So like if you wanted to have a picture, and it's free, and you could have like a picture and then a question about the picture and then a picture and then a poll. So I feel like you could definitely use that in the classroom. There's mobile tools. So this will allow you to create surveys or have a free voicemail, conference calling, podcasting, which I think is good to have. That way you're not giving out your phone number to a parent, but you can still get in contact with you. And I mean, I'm not going to go through all of them, but those are some of the really good tools that you can use. And I feel like you could definitely use all of these in the classroom. How do you feel about that website?
Yeah, I like it. I like how it has, multiple tools in one place, so you're not going around searching for things. So that's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. Steph, do you have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I like it also just because I think it's different. And like you said, with the whole phone conferencing and everything, you don't have to give out your number, and I think that's really important because especially now with privacy and all of that kind of stuff, it's really difficult to find stuff like that. So I think that's really cool. Plus it makes things a lot more interactive, and I've liked seeing all the different tools that can be used to make PowerPoints more interactive and more interesting, because I feel like after a while, once you do so many PowerPoints, it gets boring, and this kind of livens it up a little bit, and I like that.
Yeah, and it's simple for not only teachers to use, but for students to use as well. It said that it's really fast to just teach the kids the tools, and then they can use them, so they could use them to liven up their PowerPoints as well and make them more fun or interactive for them. So I really like that one. This next one, let me share the screen again with y'all. And boop. Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so this one I didn't like so much. It was kind of hard to navigate through and confusing, but this is called Paperly, and basically you get, here, I'll read what it is to you. So it gives you access to an ever-expanding universe of articles, blog posts, and rich media content. So basically what it does is every day they automatically process through 250 million social media posts, and that's good for, basically what it was saying is for small business. So that really, I don't know how you could maybe use that in the classroom. And another thing is when I was trying to sign up for it, it was trying to get me to sign up with my Facebook or my Twitter account, and then it was going to create posts for me. And I could see how that works if you were using a business account for Facebook, but like not my personal account, because I don't want it sending out stuff on my personal accounts. But also, if you go to the home page, there's like this little short video, and it says that you can start free.
Heather, that video is kind of lagging.
Okay, well, basically what it's saying is that like it's like having a personal assistant for your social media, which is good for, like I said, for small businesses, but I don't really see how you could use it in the classroom, unless, like, on my newsstand here, you can look up, you can find papers, or you can create your own, you can write collaborative papers. But if you like type in something, let's say education, it'll pop up with all these different education articles, which I could definitely see sharing with like a parent or something, but you wouldn't want to use your personal Facebook account or your personal Twitter to do so. But it is a way to get a hold of relevant articles on education or other topics. So, but I still wasn't really that fond of this website.
I think it could be used, like if there were a class Twitter account or something like that where everything could kind of come together. But I see what you're saying about not really being sure how to use it other than looking up articles yourself. Other than using it for class Twitter and kind of combining all of those in one, I think it would be really beneficial for that. But with Facebook and other social media, I'm not necessarily sure how that would work, just because I think a lot of people are, especially teachers now, are trying to get so many people away from social media and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure. I think it's a cool idea, but I don't know how it would necessarily be implemented.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that it's good to be able to get those kind of articles, and maybe you could use it with an older age group. I'm thinking in terms of like, I'm an early child, I've never used that in a preschool or a kindergarten class, other than like finding articles for parents. But I could definitely see in a high school setting, if you had, like you said, a class Twitter account, they could use that in order to find articles on some certain subject that they're working on in the classroom at the time. But otherwise, it was a little confusing to navigate, and I think it could use improvements.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, Debbie, did you have anything to say about that?
No, I was just basically going to say the same thing. I could see you using it with, maybe middle school or high school kids. I don't really know, maybe 5th grade. I don't really know about, the younger kids being able to use that one.
Yeah. Okay, well then, with those two being done, I guess I'll do mine. And the first one I did was Newsela or Newsela. I'm not really necessarily sure how to pronounce that because it looks like an acronym. But can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that you can actually sign up for free. And you can actually sign in with Google, so that's what I did. And basically what it is, it's just so many articles about pretty much anything. So if you want, you can just click right here where the little magnifying glass is, and you can type in anything. So what I did was, at first I typed in Syria, and there were some things about what's going on, what's been going on in Syria. You can type in basically anything you want to look up. It'll give you some suggested searches at first. And then you can also narrow your choices, which I thought was really cool. You can do it by grade level, reading standard, or language. So if I wanted to find something on a 3rd grade reading level in Spanish, it would bring up those particular articles, which for what I was searching for, there's only 3. But I still like the fact that it gives you the option to do it in a different language. You can also click Advanced Search, and there will be more articles that you can look through. Then there's text sets, which you can do that on your own and create your own first text set. I haven't done that. You can also like text sets, which is just basically going through any article and that little heart button, just clicking on it and saving it for later, just like you would on Facebook when you like a post, or on Twitter when you like a post, or something like that. And then there's state text sets, and social studies, literature, Spanish, and I thought, like I said, I think that's really cool. I like that this has more than one language, especially with ELL and ESOL becoming such a prominent focus. I think that was really cool to see that. And then you can click on Binder, and I don't have anything right now because it's a Newsela Pro feature, and I don't have Pro, but you can sign up for a free Pro trial. But you can create assignments, and you can combine your class all together, and then you can actually basically assess students this way and see what their progress is with different stuff and different assignments. So I thought that was really cool too. But yeah, it's free to sign up for unless you want the pro part of it, and then it's going to cost a little bit of money. But with all the articles and stuff like that, those are all free to get to, and there's just so many different options like science, health, arts, sports, war and peace. So just anything that's pretty much going on in the world. And I think that's really important for kids to learn about and have the ability to look it up themselves.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I really like that one because not only was it like there were so many articles, but it also came in different languages, and that's important, like you said, because of ELL students and being very emergent right now. So.
Yeah, it would be nice if like you could find the same article in like English and Spanish, and then that could really help them if they're learning English to be able to see it in both languages.
Yeah, I think that would be a really cool idea also. But I think with how difficult it is to get translators and stuff like that to work for stuff. To work and translate things like this, it becomes such a process. And but I totally would love to see something where they had the same article in both languages instead of having to go into Google Translate or sit there for hours just hoping they understand it. Any other questions or comments on that one?
I don't think so.
I really like that one.
I did too. Okay, so I'm going to do my next one, which was really actually cool, but I didn't necessarily understand it at first. But it's called Circuit Scribe, and it's under the electronics link that we followed for our Hangout. And let me know if you guys can see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is actually really, really cool. Basically what it is, these were created by PhD and former PhD students that created a way for people to draw circuits and connect them. So you go to the link, and it's it's basically like a business page where they sell their kits and their pens and stuff like that. So what I did was, at first I just went to the FAQ to figure out what it was really all about. And I looked at these pictures up here, and I looked at what a circuit scribe is. And basically what it is, it's just a way to be conductive. You can't get conductivity through graphite, just a regular number 2 pencil, but with these pens it has silver in them, so when they write, they can write on any medium, like we write with graphite, so paper, printer paper, newspaper, anything like that. So with the new circuit scribe, what happens with the silver is that it becomes conductive. So then if you go to products, they have their modules, their kits, and then their pens. So I'm just going to click pens for right now. And when you go to that, they have different types of pens, which has the silver ink inside. And after drawing, it says circuit scribe conductive ink pen, and then resistor pens. So depending on what you want to do in the classroom or anything like that, you would decide what kind of pen you want. And then the kids could use those pens and create circuits. And this would be really, really cool for science because it's something so different and so interactive that I was actually completely blown away by this. And then the people that created this actually created a scribe workbook, which you can download for free and print as much as you would like for free because they allow that. And then there are some videos and stuff that really show what it's about, and they talked about the materials safety data sheet, which a lot of times you don't see that kind of stuff on websites because they just want to make it look really cool. So I thought that was really good that they included that. And then they also have industrial ink, which you can put in printers and stuff like that and make those circuits so the students could work with it instead, like if you didn't want them to draw it or them to mess with it or anything like that. So again, I'm going to go back to products and then go down to kits. And they have the basic kit, they have a light kit, they have a maker kit, and a developer kit. So you can actually see you get more and more stuff with every kit. And then they do a kit comparison as well, and then they have classroom kits. So they have the basic and then the maker classroom kit. So I thought that was really cool that they allow the comparison. It's just like any website, like if you're going to look at computers or anything like that, you can compare them straightforward and you know what you're getting yourself into. And I thought it was really cool that they specifically made classroom kits too, so every student could be involved and have fun with it. And I just, like I said, I thought it was just something so different and really entertaining that, you know, this would really keep the kids wanting to do it. So for the contents for the Maker Classroom Kit, you have 10 Maker Kits, 5 pens, 5 books, and then 5 bonus fan modules. So there's a lot of stuff with that. And if I click buy it now, you can see that it's actually back ordered right now. It was back ordered, so the expected ship date would have been a few days ago. It's a little expensive, almost $900, but it's something that the kids would be able to use more than once and really, really be interactive with their science. So I thought that was kind of cool. You guys have any questions about that one?
Like, what kind of science class would you see them using that in? Would it be for an older group of students or for a younger group of students? Or would you see it being used for, like, STEM science, that kind of thing? Like, you know how they do, like, the clubs and stuff?
Well, STEM is science technology, so,
right.
I mean, you could use this with any class, honestly. I think it's just the harder you decide to make it would be the grade that you decide to use it for. With the workbooks, you can basically change it however you want and however you feel would best fit the classroom. So I think it could be used with younger, I think it could be used with older. So it just really depends on how you manipulate it to work with your classroom. And again, it's circuit, so it's basically about conductivity. So when you are in your conductivity part of your science lessons, you could bring something up like this and talk about why you can't do it with graphite and why you can do it with silver, what's the difference, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like it. I think it looks like fun to play with, and I kind of want to just get it to play with it. But at the same time, it's really expensive, so I guess it would have to be a special thing for, or like, I don't know. It is a little pricey though.
Yeah,
Most
and it looks like you only
for
got,
schools are pretty pricey.
yeah, and it looked like you only got 10 in the kit for, that $900.
Yeah, and like I said, it is a little pricey. They have like individual kits for yourself, which run about, like the light kit, for example, runs $25, and that has one of the circuits, then it has the pen. And it, because it's science related and it is so interactive, I was not expecting it to be actually as cheap as it was, which sounds weird because $900 isn't necessarily cheap, but I think it's worth the money. So,
Yeah,
and then I looked up one of the basic classroom kits. Even though it only said 10, I found the basic classroom kit was only $439, which again, still expensive, but it doesn't have the extras it comes with. And I found out that the basic classroom kit can be good for anywhere from 10 to 20 students. So just because it only has 10 kits in it, it can work for more than one student. So it really ends up being worth the money, I guess.
yeah, I think it could really get kids engaged in wanting to learn science and, about circuits, because sometimes kids, they don't want to do science, they might think it's hard. So using something like this might make it fun for them and make them, want to participate.
Yeah, I agree. Any other questions or anything for that one?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, Debbie, if you want to go ahead and do yours.
Okay, so let me switch over to mine real quick. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, so mine also had to do with science. It's the CAS Science Writer, so it's along with those CAS websites that we've been looking at. This one helps, it's more for students than for teachers, and it helps kids write a report for science. So you can go right here and start a new project, and to create an account, it's free. So I just put in sample, and then you can go here and you can change the names of the sections depending on what kind of report you're doing. So you could change it from methods to procedures, and then you would just go to next. And then right here it just starts off with the first one, your hypothesis, and you would just type that in there. And then there's also little buttons up here that you can click, and it'll show a video that can help you.
I am a scientist, but most people think I am just a dog. They see me in the pond and throw sticks in the water for me to fetch. I am curious about how many sticks get thrown in the pond during the year. So my hypothesis is about this study to see how many sticks people throw in the pond during the year. I wrote this statement to help me focus on my research.
So you can use those to help you figure out what's a hypothesis, how should I write a hypothesis, and then once you write it, you just move on down, and you can go into your introduction, and then once you fill out the whole thing, you can hit print, and it'll actually have everything typed up in there for you, and you could print it or you could email it to yourself. Or, if your teacher had that, you could email your teacher. There's also this thing up here. I couldn't get it to work, but if you highlight text, it'll play it for you. I couldn't get it to play. And then also, if you were to hit this button, it's supposed to define it. And then if you would hit this button, it's supposed to translate a word into Spanish. But I kept trying it and I couldn't get it to work. Another feature on this website is you can go up to Journal. And you could, like if you had notes, depending on an experiment that you're doing, you can type your notes in here and then save them for later when you go back to do your report. So that's basically it for this website. If you guys have any questions.
I don't have any questions, but I think it's really cool just because it's personally for me with science, it was always really difficult to kind of write lab reports and stuff like that because it's not my forte, I guess, and I know a lot of other people are the same way, so I think something like that really helps and is really beneficial, especially for the students that struggle with it. So I think that's really cool and definitely can be used, especially since you can sign up for it for free.
I'm with Stephanie on that one because I always really struggled doing my science projects in elementary school, and my parents would have to like sit me down and walk me through each step, but having something like that would have really helped me to complete the tasks at hand, and since it gave examples, I thought that was really helpful, and I could definitely see suggesting the use of that to my students and their parents because like Stephanie said, it's not everyone's forte, and it's definitely not mine, so I wish that I had had something like that when I was doing science fair projects.
Yeah, I can see using this like to teach kids how to format their, hypothesis, and then how to format the whole report. So you can use that for that.
Yeah, it's definitely a really cool tool. I like it a lot.
Those are all pretty good tools to have, so.
Yeah.
All right, does anybody have any last comments or concerns or anything?
I don't think so.
I think we've found a lot of good tools that we'll be able to use in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah, all right, guys. Well, that completes the last 5 of our 20 tools.
Yay, we're done.
All right, guys. I'll see you all later then.
All right. Bye.
Bye.